Good evening and live from our studios on MDI Road. This is the news with me, Winifred Nicole, but first, the headlines. President Adama Barrow left Banjul for the Russia-Africa Summit in the Russian city of Sochi. Vice President Dr. Aissatou Toure joined dozens of participants from Africa to mark the 65th session of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. Former AFPRC junta member Edward Singate disassociates himself from the murder of former Finance Minister Usman Korosise and other alleged human rights violations following a heated cross-examination by the lead counsel at the TRRC. And Canadians go to the polls to elect a new federal government amid tight race between incumbent Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his close opponent. Well, viewers, those are the headlines. The President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, has left Banjul for the first ever Russia-Africa Summit. The Gambian leader was seen off at the Banjul International Airport by the Minister of Defense, the Interior Minister, the SIS Director, and the Chief of Defense Staff of the Gambia Armed Forces, amongst other service chiefs, as dictated by a new presidential reform order seeking to enhance a more focused civil service devoid of politics. The two-day meeting will avail President Barrow the opportunity to hold meetings with influential leaders within the Russian Federation and seek more development cooperation between the Russian Federation and the Gambia. Well, details of that report on Russia-Africa meeting will air in our subsequent newscast. For the opening ceremony of the 65th session of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. The 20-day session underway in Kololi coincided with the Africa Human Rights Day, celebrated annually on the 21st October. The forum, which has the theme, the Year of Refugees, Returnees and Internally Displaced Persons towards durable solutions to forced displacement in Africa, attracted over 30 African countries, the EU and government dignitaries. Ibrahim Asane has more on that.
The Commission on Human and People's Rights was established by the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, which came into force on 24th October 1986 after adoption in Nairobi in 1981 by the Assembly of Heads of State and Government of the OAU. Dr. Aissatou Touré said the forum is an important occasion for the African continent while highlighting some progress on human rights in Africa over the years. She called for concerted efforts to address issues concerning human rights on the continent.
The scourge of refugees and IDPs continue to be of great concern to us as Africans. The situation of millions of people displaced from within and outside their territories continues to be manifested yearly on the continent. Unresolved conflicts in South Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, Central African Republic, Burundi, Mali, Nigeria, and Cameroon posed serious challenges for the continent.
The Gambia, according to the Vice President, has made significant progress on human rights and rule of law, citing the Constitutional Review Commission, the TRRC, and Transitional Justice, all geared towards a better Gambia for all. Mrs. Hannah Foster from the NGO Steering Committee said violation of human rights continues to be a challenge on the continent.
The closing of civic space remained on the agenda with the existence of restrictive legislation that pays little or no attention to neither the African Commission standards nor their own constitutions. Prosecution of several human rights defenders on the trump of charges leading to judicial harassment into the work of the independent human rights organizations.
The chairperson, African Commission on Human and People's Rights, Soyata Maiga, urged the Commission to ensure protection of human and people's rights through communication procedure and friendly settlement of disputes. She assured the Commission's unflinching efforts in protecting rights.
In spite of the indignation, global indignation, and all the exaltations, the various international meetings within the various regional economic organizations and national level among the politicians, soldiers, no serious action has been taken so far.
The EU Special Representative for Human Rights, Eamon Gilmore, said the partnership is meant to discuss challenges and share experience on human rights issues. He said human rights is fundamental to any meaningful development.
To underline and to deepen European Union cooperation and dialogue with the African Union on human rights. To express our great appreciation for the work of the African Human Rights Institutes, particularly the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, the African Court on Human and People's Rights, and thirdly, to witness at first hand the remarkable progress which is taking place here in the Gambia.
The Commission is charged with ensuring the promotion and protection of human and people's rights throughout the African continent with its headquarters in Banjul. Ibrahim Nsane, GRTS News.
Indians in the Gambia on Sunday celebrated Pinkathon Day in Bakau. The colorful event brought together Indians living in the Gambia to grace the occasion. Pinkathon is celebrated on the 28th October every year. The program began with a march past from the Discount Center in Fajara to the Independence Stadium in Bakau. Kejatu Juara reports on the ceremony meant to raise awareness on breast cancer.
In the Gambia, on celebrated Pinkerton Day in Bakau. Pinkerton is celebrated by Indians every year on October 20th to empower women to improve their health and well-being. This year's event also raises awareness on breast cancer. To the Gambia said the day encourages people to make running or any kind of fitness activity as part of their lives.
Today we are here to celebrate Pinkerton Day. As we all know, today has become like a festival to us. The message of Pinkerton is very clear. Women, we need you. Your families need you. Not just your kids, but your society needs you.
Tida Sisenjai, breast cancer survivor, advised women to be active in their hospital checkups to enhance their health status.
I am a breast cancer survivor, going on 6 years now. The reason why I like talking about this story is that when I started, when they first detected it was cancer, 2 weeks later I went to go see an oncologist. It had gone from a stage 2 to a stage 3. So if you feel anything, please don't wait. Go ahead and go see an oncologist, go see a doctor. Don't put it off because you have something to do.
The consultant at Pinkerton said breast cancer should be everyone's concern.
Particularly, there is no such cause for breast cancer. Women that are known to have this disease in the family, what we call hereditary, are most exposed to breast cancer. Other threat issues compromises of history of benign breast obesity, diet lumps, late menopause, or early menarche.
Breast cancer are a crucial part of the women's body as breast milk, particularly colostrum, which is the first milk of a lactating mother, helps the baby to remain healthy. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Khadija Tujuara.
Former AFPRC junta member Edward Singate have grossly disassociated himself from the murder of former finance minister Usman Korosise, which allegedly occurred in former tourism minister's house, Yankoba Ture. Mr. Edward Singate strongly denied allegations surrounding his participation in the killings of Korosise, even after playing several videos of witnesses who have primarily mentioned him as the masterminder of Koro's assassination. Well, details of that report will come in our subsequent newscast by Fatou Janembai. Recently graduated from a 7-day training on packaging organized by the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce with funding from Youth Empowerment Project. The training targets young and women entrepreneurs to enhance and equip their entrepreneurial skills. Aminata Isanyang has more on that.
Part of preparations for the upcoming Youth Trade Fair, the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce recently trained 40 young people in packaging. Packaging of homegrown and made products remains a challenge for entrepreneurs in the country, reason why training in packaging is essential.
41.5 are currently unemployed, and the number is in the increase. Every year people are graduating, adding up to the number, isn't it? So what do we have to do? Is to create an entrepreneurship community. That's what brought about the creation of the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce. This is what it is, to come together, create something that's going to have the pave a way for us to be employing our own selves.
The week-long exercise targeted startups with women and youth as beneficiaries. The training came with great significance to enhance and equip the enterprises in agribusiness and catering.
Like we've learned during the last 7 days, we have realized that how important packaging is to our products. And then from that point, we want you to start making sure that you are packaging your products accordingly and having the recognition that you are yearning for. So inshallah, from this point on, we don't want to see any kind of packaging in the market anymore, especially with the the trainers that are here, the entrepreneurs that are here, that are privileged to be part of the training.
The training was also premised on the need of creating market linkages for entrepreneurs and promoting international standards in packaging.
YEP is always here to address the economic root cause of illegal migration and also to empower youths in skills development and also promote your businesses. Because we see to it that products we have in the Gambia, most of them are of high quality. But the challenge we face not seeing this product in the supermarkets or where we want to see them is simply as a result of poor packaging.
The Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce holds the belief that if Gambian business can package their products in conformity with the international standards, export and linkage to international is a great possibility. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Aminata E. Sanyang.
The Kabuka Kajol Association of Senegal, Guinea-Bissau and the Gambia Saturday elected a new president who will steer the affairs of the association in the next 3 years. The forum, which brought delegates from the 3 member states of the association, unanimously elected Alhaji Omar Malak, who also doubles as the president of the Kabuka Kajol Association of the Gambia. Yoro Jallo tells us more.
The Bajols recently portrayed themselves as custodian of tradition and soul of culture, which brought together kingsmen from Guinea-Bissau, Senegal, and beyond. One of the goals is to prosperity. Bajols are a dialect of the Manjago tribe. They are a minority which believes in unity and culture as a vehicle of prosperity. Omar Malak, the president of the Bajol Association for the 3 countries, emphasized the need to foster regional cooperation through building relationships at the grassroots level, citing the association as an example.
We Bajol people, we want Africans to know we are all one. If we are doing the way we are doing now, all tribes should come back together and then form an association so that they can be able to interact. My message to the Gambian people, we should love our country and love ourselves. Our young ones, we want to make sure we leave a legacy here whereby they can follow if we are not exist.
He used the opportunity to thank members of the association for the trust and confidence bestowed on him and promised to live up to expectation as the Bajols' aim is to keep their tradition alive for generation unborn. The Director of Performing Arts at the National Council for Arts and Culture, Sir Omar Jallo, spoke at length on the importance of the convergence, noting that it will go a long way towards cementing bilateral and cultural ties between the 3 brotherly countries.
For the first time, we have one of the endangered languages to societies to have deposited something in the Museum of the Gambia. And now it is actually being archived at the National Museum. It's one of the societies that is extremely working on integration. Governments have been talking about integration, but at the bilateral level, this is what is expected of happening. And it's done by Kabukajul, a big bravo, and we are very happy to see an integration of this nature that
The Bajols recently portrayed themselves as custodian of tradition and soul of culture, which brought together kingsmen from Guinea-Bissau, Senegal, and beyond. One of the goals is to promote culture amongst the younger generation for prosperity. Bajols are a dialect of the Manjago tribe. They are a minority which believes.
Well, Hundreds of tilapia fish and birds were found dead in Alanghal River in Sifo Village, West Coast region. According to residents, the causes of the incident is unknown. Janke Ture went to visit the area and she now reports.
In the West Coast regions, this is the situation the native of Sifo found themselves in. Residents reported that Alahin River is in a critical situation where hundreds of tilapia fish and birds are found dead at the riverbank. The situation occurred 2 weeks ago when the place, but could still not ascertain as the root cause of the incident. Residents shared their concerns over the matter.
It's a terrible issue which shocked everyone. We just there and had an information that tilapias and are dying over the bolondala, and later on also the birds that are also eating from the tilapias also start dying. So which arose concern to the village for people to look for the issues. What are the causes of the birds? Yesterday we're not able to establish the real cause of what happened at the bolondala here.
Fish serves as a source of food and income to these neighboring communities. But since this incident, fishing at the river came to a halt. The situation, as the ward councillor Babuka Kante explained, left them worrying.
It has caused damages because one, we advise people not to eat because we've seen birds that are consuming from, or birds that are taking the fish or the tilapias as a source of food are also dying. So if birds are dying, we feel like humans themselves it can also attribute something to the human, maybe whether it's a poison or whatsoever which is put in the water, or it's not yet established. So people as of now, the people of Sifo, Dombondir and other ends are not even eating the tilapias. The people who come in for fishing are no more doing the fishing activity, and that's their source of income. So meaning the source of income for the individuals who are fishing here has stopped for this moment.
Ahmad Demba, one of the first person to spot the incident, explained the only action he did was to report the matter to the village head, who later took the matter to the NEA and fisheries officials. Lamin Demba, a villager, said Fisheries Department were on the ground to investigate the root cause of the incident, but until today, nothing positive was heard, prompting the halting of fishing in the area as the people feared their life might be in danger once they eat the fish. He called on authorities, notably the Department of Fisheries, to come to their aid to establish the root cause of the incident. In a separate engagement, Demba and others are calling on the government to help construct their bridge, which was said to be in existence for more than 100 years. The bridge links 4 and 8 satellite villages with neighboring Casamas in Senegal. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Janke Ture.
The Farafenye Market Day, locally called Lumo, was the assembly point of the FAO Healthy Diet Caravan. This as nutrition experts continue sensitizing farmers and communities on the importance of micronutrients food. Emphasis on the importance of African leafy vegetables took center stage, with nutritionists calling for more of its consumption. The nationwide caravan will proceed to Wasu and other parts of the country, with officials spreading similar messages. Well, we will take a first break now. The sports news is up next. Do stay with us.
The Gaitaf Special Economic Zone is a 160-hectare mixed-use business park strategically located within the boundaries of Banjul International Airport, the Gambia. It is the only economic zone located within an airport in West Africa. Gaitaf Special Economic Zone is segmented into 4 separate zones: Commercial Zone, Industrial, Light Manufacturing, Logistics and Warehousing, Residential Zone. It is a highly secured economic zone with top-notch infrastructure, with eco-friendly buildings and beautiful landscaping. With attractive incentives and access to a pool of labor within the Gambia and the sub-region, the Gaitaf Special Economic Zone has already completed warehouses available to investors. Located less than 30 minutes away from the international seaport of Banjul, investors in the Special Economic Zone will enjoy a unique proximity to major markets around the world, including Africa, Europe, America, and Asia. For additional information, please visit www.gaitaf.com.
Minister bu du fóot boppam waaye tey rek ma won leen.
lu ngeen xam ci saabu Sofi man ba ma ko jëndee saabu bi gaawul jeex te gaaw naa xëpp neex na si gi ma lekkee.
man may saabu Sofi ñëw pour noppal jéegi rek ma tax a jóg gaaw naa xëpp yomb na teg si di gaaw a jeex suñ fóotee saabu Sofi sa yére yëppay am xet bu neex te du bàyyi benn tilim li si gën a neex nag mooy sa waa kër yëppay bég saabu Sofi daal amul morom.
The Gaitaf.
Welcome back, and now a bit of sports for you. MTLAN FC secured their first trophy in Serekunda West after Saturday's final, where they beat Bundes FC 4-3 on post-match penalty in the Knockout Cup. Modulamin Sane covered the final and now reports.
The tightly contested final between these two giants failed to produce goals within the 90 minutes, only for the two sides to be separated on post-match penalty shootout. But there were some thrilling actions on the pitch, with both sides creating openings throughout the game. A formidable Bundes side came close to scoring with this chance, but a resolute MTLAN defense stood firm to Aja in this second half. With both sides failing to score in the 90 minutes, the game went on to the dreaded penalty shootout. MTLAN managed to win by 4 goals to 3.
Wow, dega happy now, trop. Yeah, parce you know, I'm holding every time,
I am very happy of this victory because it's like I lost only one game in this competition. My boys played very well as expected, and they have stuck to what I have told them from the training ground to deliver today.
It's a sad moment for us today, especially for me, because this is my first year, so I should have won the trophy. It will be the best joy for me ever. But as you can see, we lost the game shootout. It's football. It's all about win and losing. Yeah.
The Knockout Cup trophy is the first title won by MTLAN after 3 years of competition in Serekunda West, and the excitement is clearly manifested by jubilant fans who celebrated long into the night. Modulamin Sane, GRTS.
But that report by Modulamin Sane takes us to a second break. News from outside the Gambia is up next. Don't go away.
The Gambia, your favorite GSM operator, Africell, is the first and only GSM operator to launch a brand new technology called the eSIM. The eSIM simply means you can use your phone without a SIM card. Do you have an iPhone 11? Any of the iPhone X series? A Google Pixel 3, or any new phone that supports the e-technology? Visit any Africell customer care center. Activate your eSIM today. With your virtual Africell SIM, you can use more than one number without having a physical SIM card in your phone. Enjoy this brand new technology for the first time in the Gambia, brought to you by Africell. eSIM, your phone without a SIM card. For more information, please call 111. Where Africell goes, nobody dares to follow. For the first time in the Gambia.
Canadians are heading to the polls on Monday to elect a new federal government. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is in a tight race to keep his position. Details in the CGTN report.
Born the son of a sitting Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau was in the public spotlight long before he could speak. Now himself the leader of Canada, Trudeau is seeking re-election.
Canadians have an important choice to make. Will we go back to the failed policies of the past, or will we continue to move forward?
Trudeau's prose is polished, his politics a bit less so. He gained praise on the international stage for taking in Syrian refugees when the U.S. wouldn't. But domestically, his sympathetic and sensitive good guy image has been largely overshadowed by multiple scandals.
Well, he was a celebrity, and you know, celebrities are not going to save the world, are they? I'm never interested in a politician's image, ever. I want to see what the policy is. I want to know what the direction it's going in, and I want to know the degree to which they've fulfilled it.
A cabinet that looks like Canada.
Despite coming into office making lots of promises, many Canadians say Trudeau has failed to deliver. On his watch, Canada's cost of living has soared. That's despite low unemployment and stable economic growth. His center-left government angered Indigenous communities and climate activists when it bought an Alberta pipeline that'll push oil to the Pacific. And it angered the other side when Trudeau introduced a carbon tax that his main challenger, Andrew Scheer of the Conservative Party, has vowed to repeal immediately if elected.
Justin Trudeau only pretends to stand up for Canada. You know, he's very good at pretending things. He puts on a middle-class mask and then raises taxes on middle-class Canadians. Mr. Trudeau, you are a phony and you are a fraud and you do not deserve to govern this country.
Earlier this year, Trudeau's approval rating was lower than Donald Trump's, the controversial U.S. president, which may explain why last week Barack Obama, the former American leader who's still greatly popular in Canada, publicly endorsed Trudeau in an unprecedented move, and in a race that's largely become a referendum on the Prime Minister. Indeed, this election has always been Trudeau's to lose, but it's tricky. Canadians don't vote directly for Prime Minister, but instead for hundreds of parliament seats, contested by candidates from a handful of parties. The party that wins the most districts usually gets to form a government.
Trudeau's Liberal Party has been slowly losing support, not so much to the right, but rather to smaller parties on the left. The majority of Canadians oppose a Conservative government, but if the Liberals lose too many districts, they could ultimately end up helping usher one in. Rowie Rettenberg, CGTN, in Toronto.
You're watching us live from Banjul. A quick look at the main news once again. President Adama Barrow has left Banjul for the Russia-Africa Summit in the Russian city of Sochi. Vice President Dr. Isatou Touré have joined dozens of participants from Africa to mark the 65th session of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights. Former AFPRC junta member Edward Singate has disassociated himself from the murder of former Finance Minister Usman Korosise and other alleged human rights violations following a heated cross-examination by the lead counsel at the TRRC. And Canadians are going to the polls to elect a new federal government amid tight race between incumbent Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his close opponent. Well, viewers, that was all in this edition of the News at 8. Join us at 10 for more news. Until then, do stay with GRTS and enjoy the rest of our programs.